Religion is perhaps one of the most controversial subjects this decade has seen. In the last few years alone, the US has attempted to pass controversial laws limiting Muslim immigration. Europe has also seen religious tensions in which Islamophobia has increased alongside the refugee crisis. Recently, Austria and Turkey are in mass tensions over Austria passing policies to shut down mosques and deport imams. As quoted by the Turkish president, World War III will be a war between the crescent and cross. That sentence in itself is something you would expect from the 12th century, definitely not from 2018, in which we are supposedly more accepting as a society and more liberal. Now let's take a look at some of the largest religions in the world. Christianity has a total of 2.4 billion followers. He is of course responsible for the Crusades, Inquisitions, violence against Jews, and having extremist groups such as the KKK. Overall, they can be accountable for about 13 to 25 million deaths in history. To break that down, that's 6 million from the Holocaust, 1 to 3 million from the Crusades, 1 million from the Inquisition, 3 to 11 million from the 30 Years' War, 2 to 4 million from the French Wars of Religion. Looking at Judaism, there is around 15 million members. 6.5 of those reside in Israel, which stands as the Jewish majority, an explicitly Jewish state. Common belief is that if you speak against Jews, then you are typically an anti-Semite. For almost a century, there is religious conflict in Israel and Palestine state, mainly in West Bank and Gaza. There have been 4 major extremist groups who have fought and killed in the name of Judaism. And finally, Islam. It is the world's second largest religion and the fastest growing major religion in the world, with over 1.8 billion followers. Muslims make up the majority of the population in over 50 countries, and it can be theorized that around 10 million have been killed in the name of Islam. So what's the point of all this? Well, looking at Christianity, it has killed the most, almost double of what Islam has, and hundreds of times larger than Judaism. And yet, we don't have anti-Christian policies and mass hysteria around the world of whom fear Christianity, taking into account the amount of extremists there are. For example, the KKK has an estimated membership of around 10,000 active followers, and the Filipino Christian extremist group, the Ilaga, is estimated to have a few thousand members. Taking all this into account, we can see that about 1% of Christianity is extremist. But where have we heard that figure before? 1%. Perhaps by the many activists who stand by Islam and explain that only 1% of the religion is extremist. I don't think I need to point out the double standards here when I say that there is extreme injustice between how Islam is treated and how other religions are treated. Every religion has extremism, from Buddhism to Sikhism. So my question is, why do we not judge Christianity or Judaism on the acts of its extremist groups, but we would and do for Islam? It's simply wrong and unjust. Millions suffer because we judge the many by the few. Luckily, I've been fortunate enough to have some of my closest friends be Muslim, and I myself have lived in a Muslim country. With all the experiences I've gathered, I cannot speak more fondly of them. Never have I been pressured or verbally abused for my own beliefs. Instead, even in a country where religion is a high priority, my culture was respected and welcomed. Seeing my friends recently go through Ramadan and seeing their religious beliefs showed a side of peace, respect and faith, which is never shown on the news or in the newspapers or on social media. So it comes with great disappointment when I hear Americans, Europeans or even the British and friends talk in such an Islamophobic manner. We need equality between all religions, and we must break down the barriers of Islamophobia. All religions and cultures are guilty of having extremism. In the UK, we have groups who are racist or extremist in their views, and I would hate for someone to judge me and my home nation on their acts. Instead, look towards the peace and the love that all religions also uphold to such a mass priority. Get rid of these double standards. Stand up for those who may not have a voice to do so. Islam is not a religion of terror.